Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Mercy and we're talking about God on here, wellness, and a lot of good stuff. And if you want to know what we talk about, please subscribe, like, and share. So let's get right into it. I want to talk about how you can be used by God to do remarkable things. In my previous video, I talked about how Daniel was used by God to bring his presence to a nation, the city of Babylon. And I find that very amazing. And I know God can do the same thing through us. Now, how do we let God use us? Because you have to let Him. How do you let God use you? Simple, learn to depend on God. God has helped a lot of people get to a certain level of achievement and they forget where they're coming from. So they become self able, self sufficient, self sponsored. And God needs to know that He can trust you not to not to get to a point where you don't need Him anymore. So if God is going to use you to do a lot of remarkable things, you have to constantly depend on Him. How do you depend on God? Simple. Always ask for His help. You know, I give many examples. When Moses was caught in between the Red Sea and the army of the Egyptians that were coming, he asked for God's help. This is the same Moses that God had used to cause havoc in Egypt. But he didn't think that he had any power. He recognized that God just used him, that God owned the power, and he asked for help. Many people forget that they don't have power of themselves. We are like the moon, and then the sun is shining through us to produce light. So when you realize that everything that you are is that God reflected through you, you always remember that don't ever use your ability. Keep your strength. Use God's strength. You see, the Bible said, I can do all things through Christ which strengthens me. Keyword through Christ. Don't ever forget that it's through Christ. Through Christ. My mother-in-law, an amazing woman, she's so good. She's an excellent person. But when you ask her, how do you become excellent? She tells you it's God. She'll tell me, I ask her for strength. There are days where she says she's overwhelmed and she just goes and says, Dear Lord, help me, give me the strength to do this thing. And she does it. And people will start asking her, how did you do it? How were you able to do this? How did you pull it off? And she's like, it's by God's grace. And they think she's saying, when you say by God's grace, people will be taking or making cliche sentences. But people are very literal. It's really by God's grace. So I want you to recognize that your ability won't take you far. But if you would let God help you, if you would ask for His help, He will take you far. Something happened to me some time ago. I was preparing, I'm in school at the moment, so I was to submit an assignment at a certain time, and the deadline was very close. And I asked God for help, and He did help me. I even told Him that if He should help me, I will not flutter anymore. I wouldn't wait till deadline to be asking, to be in this situation. And it helped me and I submitted before time. But then another one came up and guess what? Of course I did flutter. I didn't keep to what I said. So I felt reluctant to talk to God about it. I felt I failed God. I felt I didn't keep to my promises. So I should try and do it by myself. And that was so frustrating and stressful. And then the Holy Spirit told me that is pride. I love how the Holy Spirit comes to your rescue, but He sees my heart though. I didn't know. He told me that was pride. I said, pride, me. And then He said, yeah, that you feel you can't go back to, like you can't come back and ask for help because you made a mistake or because you didn't keep a promise. It's pride. And I said, me, that I'm looking for help. Lord, please help me. I'm sorry. Help me. Always help me. In fact, I'm not going to ever tell you that I will do it when help me all the time. And I learned a very valuable lesson that day that it doesn't matter what you see, God is not worried. He's not angry that you're scared. He's not angry that you didn't trust him or you doubted him. He's always ready to help you. Just look at David. David was a remarkable person. God called him the man after my heart. This is why. No matter what David did, no matter the atrocity he committed, David was always going back to God. He will beg God, he will fast, he will pray, he will talk to God. He never ever felt too dirty to talk to God. So that shows you what God really likes. He's always ready to talk to him as a father. He's not going to beat you. He would rather help you. So for you to be used by God, keywords, ask, ask for help. See, practice this thing so that when something really challenging comes, it's your lifestyle, and then He can show His glory to you. You know what your superpowers are? Lord, help me. Those are the things. Just ask for help. Just ask for His help. Forget about how it will happen, and watch how God will strengthen you, how God will use you, how God will bring people to you, how God will lift you. You will step out of yourself one day, and you'll be like, "Is this me? Am I the one that did this?" Yeah, you did. You did. So always, always depend on God. It's the only way He can use you. Because the moment you become self sufficient, the moment you think you could do it by yourself, you just cut the power, you just cut it off. So, see, who doesn't like to be babied? Allow yourself to be babied. Be babied. It's sometimes it's really a lot, but trust the process. Be babied. Let God do His work with you. Just keep doing what you're doing. Be excellent at your work. Do the one you can do. Do the one your ability. In fact, the Holy Spirit teaches you to be excellent. He would help. He will tell you, you didn't do this thing. Well, do it again, and He'll give you the strength to do it. And by the time you're done, you're at the very top. Okay. I hope this blessed you. Join me in my next video. We'd love to see you again. Bye.